Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, bring to us beauty, wisdom, and joy. Once there was a boy named David, but his parents called him Davy. And one day his papa took him on a journey into the city. Now, David was about 9 years old, and he had been to the city before, but his father took him to a large building with red bricks, and there was a golden sign over the door. And Davy had never been to this building before, and he was a little frightened, for it was such a tall building with a big golden sign. But his father took his hand and helped him read the sign, which said, Birthday Society. Well, that is very unusual, thought Davy. It's not my birthday. But he was curious. I wonder what he would learn about birthdays. His birthday was in the summer, and it was quite a cold day at the end of February. So what could they be doing here? Well, he wanted to find out. So he bravely took his father's hand, and they walked inside together. Well, they walked up some very grand stairs and came to a big golden door at the top of the stairs. Here Davy hesitated again, but his father didn't. He pushed right through. And inside the room was about 100 people, and they were all chatting and talking and arguing and having quite the conversation. Davy almost had to cover his ears. It was so noisy. Well, they walked into the room, and his father carefully chose a seat and sat down. Well, before long, a woman dressed all in black walked up to a great desk, and she sat down behind the desk, and she took out a hammer, pounded on her desk, and said, Quiet, quiet, come to order. The Birthday Society will come to order. Very quickly it got silent in the room. Everyone's voices were quiet, and they all turned and looked at her. Well, Davy was wondering what could it be that they were here for? What was so serious about birthdays? He sat quietly by his papa and waited to find out. Well, soon the woman stood, and she said, All those who are having their birthday today may come up to the front. Well, Davy looked around, and sure enough, here and there a couple people stood up and walked quietly up to her desk and stood in line. How odd, he thought, but just as he was thinking that, his father stood up and took him by the hand, and they walked to the front of the room. Oh my, now everyone was looking at them, and Davy was all he could do to keep from pulling away his hand and running and hiding underneath his chair. But he found his bravery and had a straight back and stood tall next to his father. And they slowly came up to the desk. Well, as they came, the woman there said, And sir, what is your birthday?" And Davy's father said, "Today is my birthday." And she said, "Well, how old are you today?" And Davy looked up at his father, for he had no idea how old his dad was. Now his father did not answer, but he looked down at Davy and he said, "I'd like us to figure this out together." Figure it out, Davy thought. What is there to figure out about a birthday? You have one a year on the day that you were born, and you count them every year as they pass. But this woman could see his confusion, and she leaned forward and said, "Young sir, are you sure you belong here at the Birthday Society? You do not look like you know what today is." Davy said, "I don't know." But his father put a hand on his shoulder. He said, "Do not worry, ma'am. My son is here with me, and I know what today is. Today is Leap Day." Davy looked up at his father again. Leap Day? What does that even mean? They hadn't been leaping around all day. They didn't go to the pond to watch the frogs jump, or go to the meadow to watch the little lambs leaping over each other. What could that mean? Well, his father told him just then that every 4 years there's an extra day. It only happens once every 4 years. That's just how the calendar is arranged, how the sun arranges our days. An extra day, Davy thought. How do you just have an extra day? But he didn't have time to worry about that, for his father said, "That means that because my birthday is on Leap Day, I only get a birthday once every 4 years. And today is my birthday." Well, that's a pretty exciting day, thought Davy. No wonder we don't often celebrate Papa's birthday. But then he started to think about it. He said, but Papa, then how old are you if you only get a birthday once every 4 years? Well, said his father, I think that would be a fun thing to figure out together. So let's think about it. If I only have a birthday once every 4 years, let's count together how many birthdays I've had. Let's start counting by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Well, wait, said Davy, that's how you count by 4s. But how many birthdays have you had? Well, said his father, here's my hint. If I celebrated a birthday every single year, I would be 36 years old. But I've only been able to celebrate my birthday once every 4 years. So, how old am I? Davy now began to count by 4s. But he knew that he would have to stop when he got to 36. 4, 8, 28, 32, 36. So his father had lived on the earth for 36 years. But he had only had how many birthdays? 9 birthdays. And so his father turned to Davy and said, "Guess what, Davy? Today is my 9th birthday." "Oh my goodness," Davy said, "but I'm 9." And his father said, "Well, me too. Now we are both 9. Let's have some fun together." Davy said, "Wait a minute. I don't think you want to do the same birthday things that I like to do. Do you want to jump on the trampoline and go swimming in the lake and make a big birthday cake covered in sprinkles?" And his father said, "Well, it is winter time, so we won't do those things, but I want to go sledding." And so they went to the sledding hill after they very quietly and respectfully left the birthday society, after they had been dismissed by the leader. And they decided to go sledding. But while they were about to slide down the hill, Davy said, "Wait a minute, Papa. What if you counted my birthdays as seasons?" He said, "Every year there are 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. And I live through 4 seasons for every birthday I have." He said, "So if you look at it that way, Papa, I am many seasons old." His father said, "Let's count them out and see." So they counted how many seasons Davy had been living. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. 9 years old, he had had 36 seasons. "Papa, I'm 36 too, just like you." And Papa turned to him and said, "Yes, and I'm 9, just like you." And they laughed and laughed and laughed, and they had a fun surprise to share with the rest of the family when they got home after their sledding. Snip, snap, snap, this tale is told.